What's up, guys? Welcome to From the Bunker. This is episode 18. And as always, we appreciate all the support on our last episode. Big thanks to Katie Craig for coming on and sharing her incredible story with us. Guys, we got another banger for you today. But before we get into that, as always, this episode is brought to you by none other than Ford Golf Apparel. You see, I got the hat on, got a polo on under this quarter zip. Ford Golf is a brand that was built by four buddies that just wanted great looking golf gear with a great quality, but not with a astronomical price. If you want good looking gear that is going to last, that's nice, competes with all these top brands, but is a fraction of the cost, check out FordGolfApparel.com. If you use code FTB80 at checkout, that's FTB80 at checkout, you get an additional 15% off your order. That's even on sale items. So make sure you're using code FTB80 when you go to FordGolfApparel.com. That lets them know that we sent you, and it gives you 15% off. Also, this week, they have their hybrid jacket on special for $49.99. With our discount code, it's $42.50. This is a $60 jacket, so y'all go check that out. Guys, I'm just going to do a quick intro today. We've got a banger coming up. I mean, you've heard of the Ohio State University, haven't you? This young lady played golf there for 5 years. Friends with Neil Shipley. Friends with the good girls. You know what I mean? Knows Bob does sports. We got a banger. So y'all stay tuned for that. We've had a good week of golf. They played down at the Champions Course, and Shane Lowry tried to get in the mix. Brooks Koepka tried to get in the mix. It was a good tournament. We're getting tuned up here for the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Now, the episodes are starting to drop Wednesday at 6 p.m. That'll be every Wednesday at 6 p.m. So we'll be able to give you the update on the last week's tournament and what's coming up. We got the Arnold Palmer coming up. This is one of my favorite tournaments to watch. All the guys will be out there playing. Can't wait to see it. I'm thinking Scotty gets a win. I'm thinking something like that. So drop a comment below. Let me know who's winning the Arnold Palmer Invitational this week. We're just a little bit away from the players, guys. The players is coming up on my birthday weekend, which is March 12th through 15th. So we got some golf coming up now. Speaking of golf, the TGL wrapped up its regular season last night. We got the playoffs set, and I've talked some shit about Jupiter Links, but baby, they figured it out. They figured out a way with Tiger leading the coaching charge there. They figured out a way to sneak into the fourth seed. So all you got to do is get in the playoffs. Yeah, get in the playoffs and you got a chance. So Tiger and the Jupiter Lynx are in at the 4 seed. We have the Atlanta Drive at the 3 seed. That's last year's champion. They sneak in as well, get the 3 seed. They're in there. Atlanta Drive will be playing LA. They are the 2 seed. Jupiter will be playing Boston, who is the 1 seed. Now, that's a squad. You got Keegan, you got Rory, you got a squad there. So looking forward to seeing that. That's coming up here soon. We got a lot of good stuff coming. TGL wrapping up, golf just getting taken off. This tournament right here, the Masters, ain't that far away. So everybody be ready. Golf is about to buckle in. As mentioned in my little speech there, we're moving our episodes to Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. So we're moving from the Tuesday mornings at 7 a.m. We did 17 straight weeks of Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. And honestly, guys, just to be transparent, it's just a time where a lot of big podcasts put out their show on Tuesday morning around 6 or 7 a.m. A few podcasts that I watch put out their show at that time. And I guess that's why I gravitated towards it. But, we're trying to grow something here. And Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. is what all my research says is the best for a growth podcast. So that's what we're doing. We're going to try this out. And if it don't work, we'll come back to you with another time. But I think Wednesday at 6 p.m. is a good time. As always, guys, like I mentioned, we appreciate all your support. This week we have on Lauren Peter. Like I mentioned earlier, she played 5 years at The Ohio State University. She's played one-on-one versus Neil Shipley and beat him. She currently plays on the Epson Tour, which is the Korn Ferry Tour for the LPGA side, which you should have learned about last week in the Katie Craig episode. But great story, great conversation. Really appreciate Lauren coming on and doing the podcast with us. Met her on the internet. All of her stuff will be down in the bios wherever you're getting this podcast. Make sure you go show her some love, subscribe to her YouTube, follow her on TikTok and Instagram. She actually makes some really, really great stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into the Lauren Peter episode. And y'all make sure to drop a comment, a like, a follow, a subscribe, all that stuff. And we will see you next week at Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you so much. Guys, real quick, before we get to Miss Lauren Peter, I want to talk to you about Swing City Golf in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Now, if you're local to Kentucky or Middle Tennessee, this is a place that you want to check out, guys. Family, fun, food, okay? Some of the best food around. Not just at a simulator, I mean around. They got some fire food, okay? Full bar. You can get whiskey, vodka, beer, whatever you want. They've got it, okay? And they've got top of the line TrackMan simulators, guys. All right. And if you take your game serious, you want to work on a TrackMan. I'm just telling you, get a TrackMan app. You can go back and track whatever you want to track. Okay, look at your whole round, look at your whole range session. It gives you average yardage. I mean, it's a top-notch facility. In this particular one, they've got a VIP room. They've got 5, 6 bays, huge space, somewhere you can bring the whole family and they'll have fun. So y'all check them out. Tell them Golfer Game. Tell them From the Bunker sent you. Swing City on Broadway in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Go check them out. We'll see y'all after this episode. Peace. What's up, guys? Welcome back to From the Bunker. Today we have a special guest, Miss Lauren Peter. Lauren is currently competing professionally on the Epson Tour, played 4 years of college at Ohio State, the Ohio State, where she earned academic all Big Ten honors and was Ohio State Scholar Athlete. Before that, she was a New York State champion and one of the top junior golfers in the country. Now she's balancing professional golf with building her presence online with content for the world to see as well. Lauren, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks for coming on. We'll jump right into it. I mean, for the people that are just now getting introduced to you, who is Lauren Peter off the golf course?
I guess you could say I just love to hang out with friends and family, go to the beach, love to cook, love to bake, love to go to the gym. Yeah, I mean, super simple.
Now, if you're having friends over tonight, what's the one dish that you're in there whipping up like Gordon Ramsay?
I love making anything Italian, any Italian dishes, but
Okay.
I also love making some good steak tacos with some guac and stuff and street corn. One
Yeah,
of my favorites.
sounds great. I'm a big Italian lover, so anytime I can get some Italian, I'm in. What's something about you that most golf fans wouldn't expect?
So this is a good one. There's kind of two things. I don't wear a glove and I've got a 10-finger grip. So usually you don't really see that in many golfers.
So can you explain that a little bit? What's the reason behind not wearing a glove? And then when you say 10-finger grip, does that mean you're not overlapping or interlocking?
Yeah, just baseball grip. Yeah, so with the glove, I feel like when I was little, I used to use one every once in a while, and then I don't know what strayed me for not using it, and then I just kind of stopped. And this past year, actually, on tour, we were in Indiana for an event, and it was so hot, and I was my hands were getting sweaty, and I had to use a towel to kind of dry them off, and Titleist was there that week, so I was like, hey, can I just have a glove? I know I don't normally have one, but they're like, yeah, sure. So I kept it in the bag, and I didn't even use it the whole week. So
For me, which of course I'm not nowhere near your level, but for me, if I'm trying to take a few yards off of a shot, that's when I take the glove off. So if I'm trying to hit a knockdown driver or, like 10 yards off my pitching wedge or something, I'll go no glove. But other than that, I'm rocking one. So that is that's a pretty good tidbit to know. I think most people would be shocked by that. Growing up in New York, I'm sure that's a little different. What was junior golf like for you?
Yeah, I mean, growing up in New York, it's not an insanely, like, competitive state when it comes to, like, golf. Luckily, our, like, state championship for a few years, we had some really good players. My team had one girl go D1, and then in our section, we had a bunch of girls go D1. Actually, I have a really good friend who's on Epson with me that we grew up playing golf together, high school golf. But it was definitely not as competitive as it was like as a full junior golf. Honestly, I traveled a whole lot, like everywhere when I was little. But like state championships were competitive within a group. Actually, my last year of high school golf, I decided not to do it just because one, the red tees were so short, and two, like I knew I was going to college and I was like already committed. So I was like, might as well just keep going on like junior golf and like prepare more for that then. Because junior golf was a little bit further than the ladies' tees. So I was kind of just preparing for that instead of junior golf or sorry, high school golf. So
Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't talked to anybody that grew up golfing in New York, so I'm sure that it's a little different there.
yeah, for sure.
Was there a moment when you knew golf could take you somewhere big?
Well, it's actually kinda interesting because like, my parents don't play golf at all. They were athletes, my mom was a field hockey player, my dad was football and soccer, my mom was also soccer, but they never really golfed. Like, my dad's claim to fame is that he's played 1 day on the high school men's golf team, and that was it. Um, so, like, I didn't grow up and, like, none of my extended family plays, like, one of my uncles does. Actually, kind of a funny story is my mom's great uncle was really good at golf, tried to get all my family into golf, couldn't get anyone into it, and unfortunately he died before I was born, but he was so into golf, and, like, my grandma always says, she's like, "He's watching over you, like, there's some golfer out there." So she's like, "He's always watching over you because he's so excited that he had someone who actually picked up the sport." I mean, I started golf when I was 8, so I played a bunch of, like, US kids events. I just started winning them, and I was also a gymnast, so at some point, my mom's like, "You gotta choose one or another," and I decided I think I was just playing really well and winning a bunch of tournaments, and I was like, I just decided to kinda continue more on the golf path and gymnastics, especially because people get injured really easily, but it was actually really good for golf. But yeah, I think just winning a bunch of, like, US Kids tournaments and going to, like, the world championship and playing well, and those events, like, I kinda knew, like, "Okay, this is gonna be good."
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say winning played a big part of it, right? Back in 2017, you won the New York State Championship. What did that mean for you at that time?
It was actually a very big deal at the time because the 2 years before that, I was runner-up by, like,
Wow.
a few strokes to one now, but I definitely really grinded that year for that. I actually walked off the green on 18 and was like I look at our athletic director and I was like, "Did I win?" She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." So it was a big deal, and that was also one of the reasons why I kinda stopped. I didn't do my senior year because I was like, I'm gonna go out on a high note. So it definitely meant a whole lot to me because I really, really hard. And I actually didn't win sectionals that year, and it kinda just, like, put like, almost kinda stabbed me in the heart, and I was like, "Alright, you gotta grind for this state championship." So it definitely meant a lot that year to me.
That's awesome. So your freshman and sophomore year, you finished runner up.
Yeah, I actually played in 7th and 8th grade too, though, because they allow I don't know if they do that anymore, or what maybe it was just 8th grade, I don't remember, honestly.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so I think I might have gotten, like, 4th the first year I played, but those freshman, sophomore, I was runner-up both times.
Awesome. So jumping over from junior golf to college, how was the recruiting process like for you? So were you recruited by a bunch of schools? Did you go on a bunch of visits? You were one of the top junior golfers in the country. How was that process like?
Yeah, so it's so much different now because there's so many more rules, but I think I went on some visits. I wanna say 8th grade. I verbally committed my freshman summer to Ohio State. I went on, I wanna say, like, 2 or 3 visits, and I had a bunch of coaches, like, watching me in junior golf tournaments and stuff, and, like, I knew they were interested because they would send out, like, mail and stuff, But when I went to Ohio State, my coach there, like, something really just hit when I went there, and I felt like it was, like, almost like home. She's also really good friends with my swing coach, so, like, I knew that would be, like, a good fit too, because you hear a lot of people going to college and, like, their swing gets all messed up because the coaches try to fix it, so I knew that was gonna be, like, a really good fit for me, and she was a great coach, so I just felt like there was a lot that went into it too, like, I'm a huge football fan, so I wanted to go to, like, a big football school, and it
Love
had a lot
that.
of majors. Even if I didn't wanna go into the business program, which I didn't, like, I went into a sports industry program, so it was good because I kinda can change over, and there was a lot of I loved it. It was a great experience, though.
That's awesome. So is that kind of what ultimately led you to choose Ohio State, was your connection to the coach and falling in love with the school and the football program?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I loved it there, the campus is super big. I would have to walk to class, like, 20 minutes sometimes, but, like, I really enjoyed just, like, having the big school atmosphere, and I mean, recruiting's a hard process, like, now it's even harder because I don't think you can even go on a visit until, like, junior or high school or something. The rules are so different now.
Right.
But, I mean, any advice to other people would be, like, juniors, just play as many tournaments as you can, get your name out there. That would be my advice. Like, my mom was really good and, like, she didn't know much about golf, but, like, she would, like, help me, like, learn, like, how to get in tournaments and, like, AJGAs, you had to get, like, certain stars to get into events, and, like, there's a whole process. Like, apparently it's even harder now, which is crazy because I thought it was hard back then, but
Yeah.
I would, like, tournament after tournament, and I think that definitely helped, like, coaches notice me and get my name out there and stuff, so
Absolutely. You had 12 top 10 AG or AJGA finishes. How did that prepare you mentally for what you did at Ohio State?
yeah, I mean, it just kinda helps you learn, like, different golf courses and, like, different conditions and stuff like that. Because I think that's what college prepares you for the tour, and that kind of prepared me for that, and learning, like, all these other players I'm playing with, like, I probably still play on tour with. And it's crazy to see that, like, you were playing with, like, the top juniors in the world and, like, okay, like, I can compete. Some weeks you wouldn't play as good, but some you would, and, like, there was invitationals, which some invitationals we had were super cool, like, we had an Annika one, so we got to, like, hang out with Annika for that one. I don't know, they AJGA puts on some good tournaments, and they probably put even better ones on now, but, yeah, I mean, I think it prepared me a lot with just because you would see, like, the same girls in college when you were competing as you would in junior golf, so
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. What would you say was the biggest adjustment going from high school slash junior golf up to the big stage with Ohio State?
I would say travel and managing school, like, I am not a school person. Like, don't put a test in front of me. I rather go play a golf course any day of the week. But so I would say because the first, like, 2 years, like, I did 5 years at Ohio State because of COVID. The first 2 years were definitely rough. I was in tutoring so much just because you're traveling, like, my freshman year, this was kind of we hosted a tournament in California, and every year we take the red eye home, and it was right during, like, finals week. So, we took a red eye home after playing a round of golf. It was kinda crazy because we took the red eye home, and then I literally my coach drove me to, like, a math exam that day. After, like, 2 hours of sleep. But, like, that's just how it is, like, you just gotta survive. Like, that was definitely an adjustment, like, long weeks. Like, I feel like other sports, you don't travel as many days, like, we would probably travel 4 to 3 days for events, so, I mean, you come back and then, like, a week and a half later, you're doing it again. But, I mean, after a while, you kinda learn how to adjust and, like, I would get my schoolwork done before we traveled that week. I don't stress about it when I was on the golf course, like, "Oh my gosh, I have an assignment due tonight," and I didn't do it. Like, I would just get it done before I left, and that's one thing that I kinda learned after the first 2 years, so
Yeah, I'm sure that's a balancing act that you have to learn. Other college athletes that we've talked to, have taught us where, they're in the van doing schoolwork on a computer, when they'd rather just be hanging out or whatever on the flight, whatever. So, and then you're right, like a football team, basketball team, they go play one game for a couple hours, they're right back home. For you guys, it's a 2, 3, 4 day event, so you're gone for 6 days sometimes probably or something crazy. Like, I'm sure that's hard to adjust to. Now, as a freshman at Ohio State, you ended up playing in all 12 events. How important was earning everybody's trust, your teammates, your coaches early, and qualifying for all 12 of those events?
Yeah, it was definitely super important. I had a one teammate who was actually going through the Q school process, like, during her last year, and it was, like, a few of those girls, like, are some of my really good friends right now, still to this day, and it was fun, it was a cool experience, like, my we actually won Big Tens that year, which was really cool. Our teammates shot, like, I wanna say 6 or 7 under the last round, and, like, we won, and we're like, "This is crazy." So, it was definitely good, it was such a good experience, but I was probably definitely stressed about schoolwork during that time if I really think about it, looking back on it, but no, it was good, it was, like my freshman year was really great. I actually didn't know I played all 12 events, which is a fun fact now, but yeah.
I'm teaching you something about yourself.
Yeah, literally.
Over your career in college, you steadily improved. And honestly, with the athletes that I've talked to, most of them have some sort of fall off or they start hot, have a slump and then get it back. Your career kind of was this way the whole time. How'd you do that? What clicked? What was working? Were you just getting more and more comfortable? Were you actually getting better at the game? What was it for you that kept you on that upward trajectory throughout school?
I think I was probably getting more and more comfortable, especially, like, adjusting with schoolwork and stuff, but we had a really amazing coach who taught us a lot of stuff and taught us a lot of course management and drills and just everything that I think kept it up, and I feel like in the winters in New York my last 2 years, I did go to Florida for, like, a month, but we would constantly keep practicing. We had a really nice indoor facility. We would go to Florida on the weekends. We'd fly to California for a long weekend, like, we would constantly keep it going, and I feel like I put the clubs down for a little, which is okay. I learned that now it's actually okay to not golf for a few days. Yeah, I think I just learned a lot from, like, the coaches and everyone, like, teammates, and I think it really just helped, and, like, golf is such a mental game, and I think that I honed more in on that too, like, in college too, so.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, other athletes that we talked to that went through college talking about the mental side of things, that was a big change in the way they were able to play. Now, you had mentioned that you're not a school person, but somehow you were academic all Big Ten. I mean, being not a school person plus juggling golf, how in the heck did you get these amazing grades on top of having a golf career?
I mean, the first 2 years, you probably didn't wanna look at my GPA, but I was getting past, alright? No, but once you get past the GE classes and, like, you actually get to, like, enjoy your major, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I was, like, under sports industry and, like, technically my major was called, like, physical activity coaching specialist, which is basically something just under, like, a PE teacher. Well, I really enjoyed because it was kinda like coaching, and I got to do, like, internships. Like, I interned with our men's golf team. And then I interned with a women's soccer team, and I really enjoyed that, and I think doing what you enjoy is so much more, like, better than doing a stupid English class. That's just not me, like, I don't wanna do math, like, I don't know, I just stuff that you don't enjoy, like the GE classes, like, I feel like we should get rid of those, but
We could have a whole podcast about my thoughts on that. I would have to agree with you. But you're right. Like when you love something kind of like golf or content or whatever, it's not a job to you or it's not school to you. You're actually enjoying it. So it's a good time. And yeah, I can definitely see that. That's awesome. What's one lesson that you learned at Ohio State that you're still using today?
I mean, I guess you could say, like, a lot of course management. One of my coaches taught me I had a bunch of different coaches in college, but my first coach, she kinda taught me to not to, like, worry like, so you look at a green and you're like, "Okay, where not where do you wanna miss, but, like, where do you wanna put this?" And we would, like, literally take us like, a green map and put, like, a dot where you wanted to, like, hit the shot, and you'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna hit it there. I wanna be short of the pin, like, the pin's in the back. I wanna be short of the pin. I wanna be just left of it because the pin's on the right." Like, I'll have a 10-footer uphill. Like, kinda like, stuff like that, I kinda still take into account now. I don't really necessarily dot the books, but I kinda look at it and I'm like, "Okay, I wanna be right there," and then you try to hit it there, so stuff like that, and, like, put yourself in hard positions in the practice rounds that you don't wanna be in. Like, you're short-siding yourself, you put yourself there so you learn how to hit the shot, so when you get there in the tournament, you're like, "Okay, like, I hit this during the practice round, like, it's super easy."
Yeah, course management can change your game. If y'all are listening and don't know about course management, probably need to figure it out. It's a huge help. Let's talk about turning pro. Let's talk about the Epson Tour a little bit. When did you know it was time to make the jump to professional golf?
I mean, it's my dream since I was, like, 10. So, I always knew that I didn't wanna do anything else. Like, I always looked up to the girls on tour, especially when I was little, I looked up to Paula Creamer so much. She was just so sweet when I would go watch her. She literally took her shag bag, walked into the first tee and took everything out of it and gave it to me and signed it, and I still have it to this day. And just, like, that like, I just wanted to be those girls, like Christy Kerr, Lydia Ko, I'm trying to think of other girls, but, like, so many inspired me, and, like, I just wanted to do that, and I've always wanted to, and especially after going to college, I was like, "I don't really wanna do anything that has to do with this." Like, I just wanna go pro, like, so and it's good because we've had, like, a bunch of girls turn pro, so it's nice to, like, see everyone on tour and stuff, so but yeah, I mean, right after college, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks after, I decided that I was going pro. I didn't stay amateur. A lot of girls stay amateur till Q school, and I decided, like, "Hey, I'm gonna try to play some Monday qualifiers." So, I just did that. I played some smaller events and then went to Q school.
That's awesome. What's something that people don't understand about life on the Epson Tour?
How expensive it is. Like, you're spend like, I have some really good friends who were pro golfers and now do content, and they were just recently talking on a podcast about how much each year costs, and I thought her number was off until I started doing my taxes, and I was like, "Nope, she was pretty spot on." Like, it's you're spending 60 to $80,000 a year on travel. Like,
Yeah,
that is the bare minimum. Like, that's, like, the lowest amount you can spend too. Like, it's crazy how and I feel like it's also this is also something to talk about too, like, the Corn Ferry is so different than the Epson Tour. Like, it's so much more well known than Epson, but, like, Epson is one step below the LPGA, and, like, Corn Ferry, we're, like I think we're on the, we're level with, like, PGA Tour of Americas, which is, like, Canadian Tour. I think that's where, like, Epson is, but that's, like, 3 down or 2 down from PGA, so I would say people are like, "Oh, what's that? Like, what's Epson?" And then I have to be like, It's Corn Ferry." And, like, I feel like people need to, like, understand that more that, like, we're out here every week in the middle of nowhere, grinding for paychecks, and sometimes you're losing $3,000 for the week. You're
yeah.
not making money. You're not like, sometimes it's rough, sometimes it's good. I've learned to kind of surround yourself with girls that, like, wanna be better and, like, surround yourself with people that are gonna, like, motivate you and are fun to travel with during the weeks and, like, stay with in places, so it's not, like, as hard when you have a bad week. Yeah, I mean, people don't know how much it costs.
That is true. We just recently had mentioned this because we had Katie Craig on who we talked about, and she was talking about how, it just financially didn't make sense for her to go back with her average scores and things like this, for her to go back in the level of competition. So hats off to you for being able to grind it out. But the level of competition, the amount of money, and then now with the content side of things, you have girls like on the Epson Tour, you have guys on the Corn Ferry Tour, you have even PGA and LPGA players that now use content to kind of open everybody's eyes to how much it costs. Like James Nicholas, for example, who just won on the Corn Ferry Tour, he puts up his weekly spin, what he made, and it's easy to see that if you don't have a certain pretty decently high finish, you're coming out of pocket a lot of money. Like you've got to have a nice little nest egg or some really good sponsors to be able to chase your dream.
Yeah, and same when when I see his stuff, I'm like, "Wow, I wish we could make that much on Epson. We wouldn't get that paycheck." I look at his stuff and I'm like, "That's a nice paycheck."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the payouts are a lot less on your tour than they are on the Corn Ferry, right?
You have to win, like, 2 events, really, like, break even. with your expenses, so
And I hear like the
but yeah.
average score is around like 10 under, 10, 11 under on your tour.
Yeah, for winning, I would say the cut is anywhere from, like, 2 over to 4 under. Depends on the week, depends on the course, depends on the condition, obviously. The most I think I was, like, +4, which was really high, but it was a really hard week, hard course, so but yeah, it's competitive.
What's your best finish so far on the Epson Tour, and how many events have you played in?
So my first year, I wanna say I played in like 4 or 5 events. So I went to Q school and like unless you have someone telling you what the process is like, you don't know what status you're gonna get. And like I never understood that. So I kind of had like partial and I kind of waited to get into events. I think I played, I want to say like I made one cut, I think, my first year. So I had to go back to Q school, went back to Q school, played a lot better than the year before. And then I thought I was going to have really good status last year. And it just depends on how the LPGA schedule falls and like when Epson falls. And like a lot of the girls on LPGA, they don't like going to like Asia. So last year, Epson was the same week as Asia Swing. So we had a lot of those girls there. And then they bumped like all of us out basically. Because the first 3 events are only fields of, like, 120. So I didn't get in until Utah event, so it's I think, like, that was the 6th event, like, right before the reshuffle, which that was actually kind of a crazy experience. I was actually that week, I didn't look at the list for Epson, I didn't think I was gonna get in, I was like, "There's no way." I'm playing, like, a WAPT, which is just, like, a smaller tour, in Oklahoma, and my friend looks at me on the putting green and was like, "Hey, Lauren, you're, like, 2 to get into the event, like, you need to go." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm literally playing the practice round for this VAPT event, and I'm like on the phone with my mom. I'm like, "We need to book a flight." Like, I'm like, "I'm not staying here this week." And like, luckily the WAPT is really nice. Like, they want you to play in Epson, so they're like, "You're go, like your entry fees, like don't worry about it." So I flew in that morning, and I was like, there was like 6 people that got in behind me. So it was kind of crazy because it was like a Tuesday, and I'm like, I fly in on a Tuesday morning, go play a practice round, next day play another practice round, then go play for the week. Like, wasn't even planning on being there. But I didn't make the cut, but I was really glad for the experience because Utah is beautiful.
Yeah.
We were right on, and there's some amazing golf courses out there, and you wouldn't think that, but there's some insane golf there, and the golf course was beautiful. We played Copper Rock, and it was a good experience.
What's one tournament or moment so far on the Epson Tour that stands out for you?
I would say, like, one of my last Epson events this year, I was in Kansas. The year before, I hated the event so much. I was like I looked at my mom, and I'm like, "I'm not coming back here. Hate this place." I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's a rough week. Like, you don't like, that's an event most of the higher girls on the money list skip because it's just, like it's a rough week. Like, it smells like literally cow poop everywhere because it's right next to a cow manure facility, so you're smelling it, like I said, it's literally in the middle of nowhere. It's not even near Wichita. It's like 3 hours from there. And you just don't wanna be there. And I took the art book last year and I was like, "Mom, never come back here." And I threw it in the garbage. This year, I look at my mom and I'm like, "I think I'm gonna have to go to Kansas." So she's like, "All right, Lauren, like you're gonna be okay. Like it's not a big deal." It was weird that Epson organized it differently this year where it was like Oregon and then Kansas. So I was in Oregon and then in Kansas, and luckily I stayed with a bunch of girls this year, so it was a lot more fun, enjoyable. We were into the show, so, like, we would watch that at night, and it was just, like, fun to hang out with the girls instead of worrying about golf that week. The week before, I had a pretty good week. I missed the cut by, like, a few strokes, and I knew my game was in the right place. I don't even know what I shot there. I don't remember what I shot, but I finished 20th. The second day, I ended my round with, like, 4 straight birdies, and, like, one of my really good friends was, like, watching me, and I was like, "Girl, you need to come tomorrow. You're gonna caddy for me." But I think I might have shot, like, a few under that day, and I just was playing good golf, and I knew the last day that I don't usually look at the leaderboards just because I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I'll text my mom, be like, "Did I make the cut?" And she's like, "Yeah, you're good." Like, I'll know I'll get a tee time. I just don't wanna worry about it and be pressured. Like, you're gonna see it, like, 2 places down the course, you're gonna see it a little, but you don't have to like, I glance at it and I'm like, "Okay, whatever," like, worrying about everything else. So, the last day I made the turn, and apparently I was in 2nd, and then I had a little mistakes, but I still finished 20th, which if I finished in 2nd, I wouldn't have had to go back to Q school, but I was really just happy with how I finished that week, and, like, I hated that place, but they actually did a renovation, and I liked the renovation. And I don't know, like, that was just a really good week for me. And
What does 2026 look like for you? And what would a successful 2026 look like?
so I kind of have partial status again this year. So luckily they did for Epson, they did a bunch of Monday queues for the first 3 events. So I'm actually leaving Saturday to play one of those. And they're all in Florida. So for me, I just have to drive, which is really nice. So I'm playing all those. I've sent like a bunch of sponsor invites. So hopefully maybe I get one of those. I mean, I think this year is going to be really good for me. I have like a really good feeling. I've really worked on my game a lot. It's just in a good place really now. And I'm just excited to I feel like this year my goal is to enjoy being out there more. Like I played a smaller event a few weeks ago and I was really just trying to enjoy being on the golf course instead of I'm like, Lauren, you could be sitting in an office, but you need to like really enjoy it out here. So I think that's my goal for 2026. And I think as long as I follow like that this year, I think I'll have a really good season on Epson. I'll get into an event at some point and hopefully get some top tens and maybe my first wins.
I think you will. I got faith in you. How do you balance your life off the course with all that you have going on the course?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely difficult. I feel like I put a lot of time into in the winter I put a lot of time into golf, but I also work part-time. So I work at a golf course like 2 to 3 days a week just to get practice and playing privileges down here because it's really hard to find a course otherwise. And I've done that this is my and I think it gives me a really good balance. Like on the days I work 9 to 5, sometimes I'm like, I feel guilty not practicing after. And I'm like, you know what? You've had a long day. You're tired. Go home, make a good dinner and enjoy yourself. Like, or go hang out with friends. So it's more of just like that balance of, I think the work helps balance a little bit. Cause a lot of girls, like, I feel like I would personally get bored if I was like golfing every single day and not having like work or something else to do. I like that little work balance. It kind of makes you enjoy yourself more when you're on the course trying to make money and you're like, okay, well, I have a good season. I don't have to work next season. Like,
Eh,
so I feel like you just kind of, it gives you more of like an enjoyment. I don't know. But it's definitely a hard balance. I mean, I'll have moments where people will ask me to play and I'll be like, hey, listen, like I gotta go practice. Like I wrote my plan for today and that's what I'm gonna do. And like I'm not like last night I had dinner with friends and I made sure like I got some practice in before I went to dinner. And like I was like, we can go to dinner when it's dark outside. So stuff like that. It's just like I've learned to prioritize that over like anything else. Like career is the most important thing. So
That's awesome. I love the dedication. You know, some of us put in a lot of time and a lot of practice and a lot of rounds and we suck. That's me. That's me. Just say it. So let's talk about content a little bit. That's kind of how I came across you. So I was scrolling TikTok and come across one of your videos. I believe you were playing three holes with maybe like one of your friends or another girl on Epson Tour. So I'd seen that you guys were kind of like super energetic and funny, caught my attention really quick. So I was like, oh, who is this? So clicked on your profiles, read your bio, and I was like, I've got to have her on my podcast. So reached out to you, and again, appreciate you doing this. But you're doing golf content now as well as playing on the Epson Tour. How did that start? How did the content come about?
I would say with my old job, in the golf shop, one of my really good friends is a content creator and she was like, Lauren, like you can get like free stuff for posting. And I was like, okay. And I was just like, maybe you could get paid. Like, she's like, we're going to start doing this. So, like, on the days that we'd close the shop together, we'd literally go out there. Like, she would edit things for me. She would tell me what to do. Like, it was super fun. At first, we were like, ah, whatever. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And then I started becoming friends with like her friends. And now I'm actually like best friends with all the good girls. Like, they're all my really great friends and ton of long drivers. Like, it's crazy that Florida is a like breed for content. And
Yeah,
that's what I've learned. I just filmed a YouTube video with a channel, which is super cool. And I actually just started my own YouTube channel, so go follow me. I think it's Lauren Peter Golf or something. I enjoy it in the off season. I did learn that in season I'm gonna try to do a lot more vlogs and just like how each tournament goes. Like I vlogged my last event and it's doing okay. Like I started the YouTube channel because you can earn money eventually. And just kind of I enjoy watching the vlogs and stuff like that of all my friends and like seeing what they're doing. I really enjoy content. It's definitely a struggle because the dumbest videos go viral and still haven't gotten that yet. I just need the dumb video to go viral. I mean, I still keep pushing and doing it for fun. Like, I enjoy it. And I enjoy editing more than like other people do and stuff like that. It's definitely a hard balance though when I go practice and I'm like, okay, well, am I going to go play 9 holes or am I going to film a fun video? Like when my friends and I play, we sit on the first team. We're like, okay, what are we doing today? Are we just playing 9 holes or we're going to like film a video? But I enjoy it in the winter. I think more in season, I don't do it as much and don't post as much, but I think I'm going to try to a little bit this year to get more involved in like how its life is like as like an Epson Tour player and stuff. So
Yeah, that would be super cool to see. I'd love to see that. And we need more attention on the Epson Tour. That's why I'm trying to bring some of you guys on that play on there or have played on there to try to help you guys get more attention on it. I love the ladies' game. Like when I study the swing, I watch women golfers. So I think it's really important try to get that out there. And I think that would be awesome if you did some of that, especially like with the cost and showed your whole week and all that stuff. I think that would be super cool. And then, like you said, Florida is kind of like the hub for content, right? Especially in the golf space. That's why I'm trying to move there because I'm trying to build my brand as a content creator. I'm trying to build my brand with the podcast side of things, and I think that being in that atmosphere could possibly help open some doors. So, how did you become friends with the Good Girls?
well, Marissa and Alexis were on tour with me, so I was really good friends with them and then met Uni and I've known Hadley since like college golf. So I'm all very good friends with them and I'm like so happy for them. They're doing so well. So
Yeah. I actually, I told you that I took a trip to Alabama yesterday to play some golf with a content friend of mine, and I actually bought my first Good hat yesterday. The course sold those, so I bought one there. It has their like logo on the side, so that was pretty cool. But do you see your content as a brand builder, as a business move, as a creative outlet, all the above? Like, what's your vision with the content side of things?
yeah, I mean, I see it as a business outlet, more of anything. It's hard because I think you mix business and personal, like, I'll post some personal stuff too, and I think there's always a good balance, like, people wanna see what you're doing in your personal life too, but I think it's helped me a lot, like, I've gotten my clothing sponsored through it, a bunch of other stuff too, like, I definitely think I need to dive into more of the YouTube side of things though, because that's where you can get paid eventually. It's really hard to get paid on TikTok and Instagram, more of. I just do that more of for free stuff and, like, get my name out there and stuff, so but
Yeah.
like I said, I met my close friend and she's the best, so.
What kind of content do you enjoy making the most? Is it more of the, short form golf stuff, the long form golf stuff, the personal stuff, the vlogs? What do you enjoy the most personally?
I mean, I enjoy I guess you could say more like the personal stuff, like, example, like, I was just on Don't Finish Last, it's YouTube channel that my friends have, bunch of long drivers, and it was just, like it's more interesting when you get, like, personalities out there and, like, people get to know who you are. Because I feel like on, like, LPJ and Epson, like, that's what people need. You need to I think it would become more popular if you made a full swing out of it, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like Netflix did. You need like, people would be more interested if they really knew the people, you know what I mean? And their personalities, like, people need to get their personalities out there. I always tell my friends, I'm like, "Start filming, like, just for fun," like and they're always so scared, and I'm like, it's like, no, like, don't be embarrassed. Like, everyone's learning. Like, do you know how many influencers there are nowadays? Like, that's literally like everyone, and they make a ton of money off of it. And I'm like, I think people need to get their personalities out there, and I enjoy that of more of like that video with my old teammate. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff I had to cut out of it, which kind of stinks because Instagram only lets you do 3 minutes, which is I think they should do longer. But like our personalities are so funny. Like we always banter a little and it's just like fun like that. I enjoy that. I enjoy filming with guys more because they've got so much banter. Like girls, I feel like are a little bit nicer. So I don't know. I would like love to be on like more like YouTube channels and stuff because it's so much. It's just you get to know the people and like especially like the cart cam footage. You
Yeah.
get to know them so.
What YouTube channel is your dream collab, or who is your dream collab to make content with? Anybody, guy, girl, indifferent. If you could pick one, who would it be?
I mean, I've got good girls who hopefully eventually I'll do something with them, but I would love to film a video with either Bryson DeChambeau or Adam Sandler. Like that would be dream. Like Adam Sandler, that Happy Gilmore is. I've watched that movie probably 20 times. Like, I love he was so funny, like, Bad Bunny was hilarious as a caddy. It was just so good, and, like, he's such a funny person that I would love to film a video with him, and Bryson is so he's also super funny in his videos, and he's had, like whoever he has on them, they're always so funny, so
Yeah, and you kinda mentioned, just a second ago about, like, getting to know people's personality. Take Bryson, for example. He was, like, the most hated person in golf, and now he's probably the most loved person in golf because of putting his personality out there with content, you know? So, yeah, that's some good dream collabs, really good dream collabs. Mine's probably Bob Does Sports. Where do you see your content going over the next few years?
to say I'm just letting it ride. Like, the past, like, week and a half, I text my friend who does content, long drivers. I'm like, well, kinda done. I hate creating content. And she's like, Lauren, you can't hate it. I'm like, but I do. Like, I'm getting bored. Like, I don't know what else to make. I don't know what else to do. And she's like, so, like, sometimes, like, I used to post like every other day last year, which is crazy. I don't know how I did it. I would just stack up videos and have stuff in there. But now I've got like nothing in the drafts for the past week. But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just letting it flow. Like, I feel like last year I cared more about it. I'm like, "Oh my god, how many followers do I have? How many more can I get?" And now I'm just like, "Whatever. I don't really care about the views. If it goes viral, great. If not, whatever." I mean, I'm kinda just doing it for fun at this point now. It's like an extra little hobby, I would say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I hope I get not hopefully I win an Epson event and then I get a ton of followers from that, so
You just got to keep chipping at it. I mean, I've been doing it for right around a year and 3 or 4 months. It's been a grind. I try to post anywhere from 3 to 5 videos a day on TikTok, and then 1 or 2 a day on Instagram. I mean, I'm a content junkie. So yeah, it some days you wake up and it's like, man, I put a lot of work into that video. It got 312 views. I got 1 follower off of it. I'm
Yep.
gonna, go cry in the bathroom. And then some days, like
Yeah.
today, I have a video from like 3 weeks ago that's just caught traction this morning. I woke up to like 45 comments, 45 new followers, and it's got like 5,000 views today. And I posted it 3 weeks ago. So you never know. Just keep grinding at it. You really do make good content. I'm not just saying that because you agreed to come on my podcast. Like, I actually enjoy watching some of the stuff that you put out. So keep at it. You're gonna get it. It takes time. Some people get lucky and go viral overnight. I think it's a lot
Yeah.
more rewarding if you put a year or two into it and then you get that takeoff. So it's coming your way. So we do this with all of our guests. It's called Rapid Fire from the Bunker. And I'm just going to run through a couple questions. Just give me like the quick answer. And
Okay.
we're going to start with the hardest one for everybody. What's your favorite course that you've played?
I would say the Ocean Club in the Bahamas.
I actually just seen that place. Guy, we had a caddy on for the Corn Ferry Tour a couple weeks ago, and he was just getting back from the Ocean Club in the Bahamas, and he sent me some pictures and things like that. Place is absolutely beautiful. Dream course that you haven't played yet.
I would say Friar's Head.
Where's that at?
I'm pretty sure I think it's in New York. Yeah. It's in Long Island, I think. I should probably know that. It's just, like, insane. The views are insane. I like courses with insane views. I didn't wanna like Pebble Beach and stuff like that. I don't wanna be original.
Yeah, everybody says Pebble Beach or
I've played Spanish Bay, which is, in my opinion, similar to Pebble, but I would say Friar's Head is definitely a dream course, and probably Seminole since Florida down here.
go to club under pressure.
A driver, 100%.
One drill that you swear by that you think every golfer should do.
Start line drill with a ruler for putting.
Like that.
Everyone needs to do that. I start my putting drills off with that because if your start line messed up, you're not hitting any putt on line.
Who was your biggest influence growing up?
I mean, I would say my parents. They really helped. And I feel like that's such a typical answer, but they've really just supported me my whole career and are just amazing. So,
Love that. If you weren't playing professional golf, what would you be doing?
oh boy, I have no clue to be honest. Something in sports, maybe something with football. Like I'm like a guy when it comes to football. Like I love watching football. So maybe something in football, I would say.
5 years from now, Lauren, What do you want people to say about Lauren Peter?
I mean, my thing when I was a little girl is, like, I always looked up to the players, and, like, I would like to say that I helped grow the game. Even not even little girls, like, just like, I teach ladies clinics at the club, like, kind of just like an influence and made us love the game more, and, like, I always teach ladies you need to have fun on the course. Don't like, if you top it, who cares? Go hit the next one. Like, so I would say, like, a big influence on the sport.
What's the biggest misconception about the women's side?
Would say kind of on that side of things. I feel like women's golf just isn't watched enough. I mean, honestly, I don't watch women's golf. But I feel like it's just because people don't get to know the like I feel like there's a bunch of girls on LPGA that are doing a good job of starting to create content and do things, and same with Epson, same with like other mini tours. I think when you get to know the person and get to know what they go through, and like from an outside perspective, they're like, "Ah, they have everything. They've never worked hard. Like maybe they've golfed their whole life." Like, no, it's a process. And I think like having people learn like your journey and just like how you are as a person, what you do on your off days, what you do to practice, stuff like that. I think that's not known enough, and I think that's where it comes in of, like, people posting more about that, and I think that's what needs to be known more and get to know the players, and I feel like so many more people would enjoy watching it.
Tell us about the LPGA events that you've played in.
Well, I Monday qualified into 2 of them. One of them was in Ohio, and one of them was Jersey, which was basically in New York, and I wanna say the one in Ohio was probably before Q school, so I think it was right after I turned pro. That was, like, probably my 3rd Monday qualifier, and, like, you gotta shoot under in those, like, you gotta shoot, like, 5, 6 under to get in. You got 2 spots, there's about, like, 48 girls, I think it is. It's a little bit different than PGA Tour qualifiers or Korn Ferry, when there's I actually don't think there's any more PGA Tour qualifiers, unfortunately. But it's a little bit like that where you gotta shoot, like, so far under and, like but you can't really have that mindset going into the day because it's, like, 1 round, you're like, "Oh, I can't." The course I played this is actually kind of a funny story. I had, like, a 16-year-old caddy that, like, caddied at the course, and I just needed someone to carry the bag. That's all I wanted. Like, I'm a very simple golfer, so I just needed someone to carry the bag during the round. He was just good to talk to. Like, I always just need a caddy that can talk to me. And I wanna say I shot 5 under that day. I'm, like, getting off the last green, and I'm like, "Alright, I gotta make this." Like, there's no way, like, I'm not making this Monday Q. I'm, like, a few under. Yeah, and I made it, and my actually, one of my college coaches was there, and it was just really fun because it was in Ohio, and, like, it was 2 hours from Columbus, so it was really cool. Like, one of the days, the starters was, like, OHIO, like, this girl just graduated from Ohio State. So it was fun, and, like, my whole family was there, like, my aunt and uncle drove out, my grandma came, which my grandma's, like, 91, and it was just so nice for her to be there, and, like, someone actually drove her around, and she watched me for all 2 days. I didn't make the cut, but it was just super fun to be, like both my parents were there, and it was just so great, and I loved being, like, with the players. I would say, though, when I played the Mizuho, like, Liberty National event, that course is sick, I love that place, but it'll kick your butt if you don't play good. So the second time I did it, I shot, I wanna say 5 under. That was a fun week. I mean, I was hitting balls next to Nelly Korda on the range, and just being in the atmosphere of everyone, because that's, like, a good week, was super fun. Like, LPGA puts you up in a hotel, and I had my best friend come and watch me. I had a ton of family again come and watch me. So, like, those just kinda give you an edge of, like, okay, like, this is what you can have if you work hard enough on Epson. It's kind of almost like a motivator to be like, "Alright, this is the life you could have." So, I really enjoyed playing those, but like I said, it's super hard to get into them. You gotta shoot really far under, so
Now, when you were out there on the LPGA, were you conversating with people like Nelly, like Lydia, or any of these? Or I guess Lydia probably doesn't play anymore, but Nelly Corda or
yeah,
Lexi or any of these ladies, were you picking their brains, going up and talking to them, any of that?
I mean, so I tried not to, like, go up to and talk to them just because I don't wanna get in their space. I mean, I've actually met Lexi at the course I worked at last year. I've talked to her. We have actually, like, my old coach was, like, one of her really good friends, so I've talked to her. She's really nice. But I actually played with Sofia Popov and then Leanna Strom, and I think Leanna won like 2 weeks later at the shop right that year. And I was just like, I just played with her like last week. And like they were so nice, super nice to me, giving me so much advice. And like they both went through the Epson process and like know everything. And Sophia Popoff actually has, I, I think, a kid. And she was telling me about like how like she had the kid and like the whole process of everything and how hard it is to come back in like a women's sport. So they were really nice, had some really good advice. I would say anyone else I didn't wanna, like, bother and, like, walk up to when they were hitting balls on the range, but it was just cool to be around everyone and just kinda see and, like, just be, like, in the ropes, like, my best friend was with me, like, inside the ropes. She knows nothing about golf, but she was just, like, shooting content with me that week, actually, which was super fun. But yeah, it was I would say, like, most of the girls are really nice, and they gave me some those 2 ladies gave me some really good advice because I played with them for 2 days, so
Lauren, it's been a great conversation. Again, I really appreciate you coming on today. All of Lauren's socials will be down in the bio wherever you're getting this podcast. Make sure to go follow her, show her some support, like her videos. Follow her on Epson Tour here in 2026. We wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, after you get your first win, I can get you back on to talk about that. Look forward to seeing you in the winner's circle this year.
yeah, thank you for having me, it was fun.
Absolutely. Guys, this was From the Bunker.